In a laboratory class, a beaker is a common piece of equipment used for holding, mixing, heating, or stirring liquids. It typically has a flat bottom and a spout for easy pouring. Beakers are often used for 1. Measuring liquids. While beakers are not as precise as graduated cylinders, they often have volume markings for rough measurements. 2. Heating substances. Beakers are often placed on a heat source to warm up or boil liquids. 3. Mixing substances. They are useful for combining liquids or solutions in a controlled manner. 4. Holding liquids or solids. Beakers provide a convenient vessel to hold substances during experiments. In summary, beakers are versatile tools in the lab, especially for tasks that don't require high precision. A test tube is a small cylindrical piece of glassware commonly used in laboratory settings for a variety of purposes. Some of the key uses of a test tube include 1. Heating small amounts of substances. Test tubes can be heated over a flame or in a water bath to observe reactions, dissolve solids, or boil liquids. 2. Mixing chemicals. Test tubes are useful for mixing small amounts of liquids or solids during experiments, especially when reactions are involved. 3. Carrying out small-scale reactions. Because of their small size, test tubes are ideal for performing experiments that require only a small volume of material. Observation. Test tubes provide a clear view of the contents, which is helpful when monitoring color changes, precipitate formation, or other reactions. 5. Holding samples. They are used to hold liquids, solutions, or small samples that might need to be tested, studied, or analyzed. Test tubes are often used for qualitative analysis and experiments that require quick, small-scale tests or reactions. They are typically held in a test tube rack for stability during use. A test tube rack is a piece of laboratory equipment used to hold, store, or organize test tubes during experiments. Its primary uses include 1. Holding test tubes. Upright. It allows test tubes to be placed vertically and remain steady, which is especially important when the test tubes contain liquids that might spill if laid on their side. 2. Storing test tubes. During experiments. When conducting experiments that require multiple test tubes, the rack keeps them organized and within easy reach, making it easier to handle them without confusion or spillage. 3. Allowing cooling or draining. Test tube racks are often used to hold test tubes after they've been heated or contain wet substances so that the test tubes can cool down or drain without making a mess. 4. Preventing contamination or mixing. By keeping test tubes separated and organized in a rack, it prevents unwanted mixing of substances or cross-contamination. Test tube racks come in various sizes to hold different numbers of test tubes, and they are often made from materials like plastic, metal, or wood.